You've heard it a million times, right? Wear a hat for sun protection. But what if I told you that the most popular hat out there, the good old baseball cap, only blocks about 30% of the UV rays actually hitting your face? Yeah. Today, we're going to dive deep into the real data and find out who the true winner is in the battle for sun safety.
Look, dermatologists are right to tell you to wear a hat, but there's a huge piece of the puzzle they usually leave out. The sun isn't the only thing blasting you with UV rays, and once you understand that, well, it changes the entire game.
And there it is, 30%. That's roughly the UV protection your face is getting from a standard baseball cap. It's a shockingly low number, I know, and it's the absolute key to understanding why your hat might be letting you down.
So let's get past the guesswork and the old advice. In this explainer, we are digging into the hard science. We're going to pit every major type of hat against UPF-rated umbrellas to see what the numbers really say.
Okay, so to get why even a really good hat has its limits, we first have to understand how UV radiation actually gets to your skin. And trust me, it's coming from way more directions than you think.
This right here is the concept that blows most people's minds. We all think UV just comes straight down from the sun, right? Wrong. That's only about half the story. A full 50% of the UV hitting you comes from indirect sources, rays bouncing up from the ground and scattering all around you in the air.
So let's break it down. You've got direct UV, that's the obvious one, rays from above. But then you've got reflected UV, which is literally bouncing off stuff like water or pavement and hitting you from below. And then there's scattered UV, which gets diffused in the atmosphere and just comes at you from every angle.
And check out how powerful that reflected UV is. If you're near water or snow, a staggering 80% of the UV rays are bouncing right back up at you. That's like getting a second dose. Even just walking down a city sidewalk adds an extra 25% dose of UV from the concrete.
So here's the million-dollar question. If UV is hitting you from below and from the sides, how much can something that only covers you from the top really do?
All right, let's get to the fun part, the actual test results. We're going to start with the most common hats and see how they really perform against this all-angles UV attack.
First up, the classic baseball cap. And yeah, just like we said, it clocks in at only about 30% UV reduction for your face. It's kind of crazy that the most popular hat in America is also the worst performer.
So why is that number so low? Well, it's pretty simple. It only covers a tiny little cone of your face. It gives your forehead and the bridge of your nose some shade, sure, but your cheeks, your ears, your entire neck, all totally exposed. Okay, next, the bucket hat. You can see a real improvement here, jumping up to around 50% UV reduction. That brim going all the way around makes a big difference. But we're still only at a 50-50 chance of blocking a ray. Not exactly great odds. Now we're talking. A proper wide-brimmed hat gets us into the 50 to 70% reduction range. That wider brim just creates a much bigger shadow, giving you solid coverage on your face, your ears, and the back of your neck.
And this isn't just our opinion. This is why you see experts like the Skin Cancer Foundation giving very specific advice. That 3-inch brim is the minimum you need to create a real zone of protection.
And here we have it, the absolute best-case scenario for a hat, one with a UPF 50+ rating. UPF is basically SPF for fabric, and 50+ means the material itself is blocking 98% of rays. That boosts the overall protection for your face up to about 70 to 80%. This is as good as a hat can get.
But wait a second. Notice it still maxes out around 80%. Why? Because of that one critical, unfixable flaw. No matter how amazing the hat is, it physically cannot block the UV rays coming at you from below and from the sides. It's just impossible.
So if even the absolute best hat has a major weakness, what's the alternative? Well, let's bring in our challenger, the UPF-rated umbrella. And the results here are, well, let's just say they're pretty dramatic.
This is the moment of truth. The best hat we could possibly find tops out at maybe 80% protection, and that's just for your face and neck. A standard UPF 50+ umbrella? Boom, 98% protection for your entire upper body. It's not even a fair fight.
Let that number just sink in for a second. 98%. This isn't just a little bit better. It's a completely different category of protection. We're talking head, face, neck, shoulders, the whole shebang. Oh, and it gets even better. A lot of these umbrellas have this cool silver lining, and it's not just for looks. It actually reflects heat, which can make it feel 10 to 15 degrees cooler in your own personal pocket of shade. So you get elite protection and you get to be more comfortable. Win-win.
Okay, so the umbrella is the hands-down winner, no question. But what if we want to get as close to bulletproof as humanly possible? Well, it's not about choosing one or the other. It's about using them together, like a team.
Here it is, the ultimate three-layer system. First, your UPF umbrella is your main shield, your bodyguard from above. Second, the wide-brim hat acts as backup, catching any stray rays that try to sneak in from low angles. And finally, a good sunscreen cleans up anything that reflects off the ground.
And what happens when you combine all three? You get over 99% protection. You've officially addressed UV from above, from the sides, and from below. This is as close to total sun safety as you can possibly get.
So, after seeing all the data, it really just comes down to this one question. Are you okay with settling for that 30% protection from a baseball cap? Or are you going to upgrade your strategy and aim for that 99% gold standard? The choice is all yours.